Thank you all for being out here today, and thank you, Stuart Benji, for the job we've done out here on the island. We're very proud of what you're accomplishing out here. We're proud of the vision and the promise of the Job Corps and the incredible work that is exemplified by many of you in this room. You know, Stuart just brought up something that I think is incredibly important, and it's something that I remind people all the time, and it's something that I was reminded of when I was growing up. That has driven some of the success, and again, I'm still a work in progress, but some of the success that I've enjoyed in the private sector as well as a little bit in the public sector. And that is, at the end of the day, the greatest challenge that each and every one of you will face is the challenge of finding what you love in life. If you can find that, everything else is possible. Whatever your passion is, you're going to excel at, whatever it is. And so many of us are driven down by being forced to become something we're not, or somebody that we're not. That we get stuck into taking a job, for example, for what it pays, but for not what we can learn, and for ways that we can grow. And then you fall down a path that you turn 40 or 50, and then you look back and say, this is as best it can be, this is as good as it gets, and you look back with tremendous regret. Your opportunity, and the great opportunity you have because of your age, is you're young enough to have the chance to make a heck of a lot of mistakes. And by the way, I've always said the secret of all success is moving from failure to failure with enthusiasm. And if you guys can achieve that, you can achieve anything. And what I mean by that is learn from your mistakes, don't repeat them. But search them out and seek them out, because if you're making mistakes, you're at least doing something. And folks that don't do anything don't accomplish anything. But the more you do, the more you'll learn. And in that process, the more likely you're going to find that thing that drives your passion, that elevates your sense of possibility and purpose, as Stuart was saying, in your life. So your challenge is, whatever you love to do, in your off time, in your spare time, find the opportunity to frame that as a way to make a living and build a life. And every single one of you, I guarantee it, have something you love to do. Even if what you love to do is absolutely nothing. You can find a way to make a career out of promoting the opportunity for other people to do nothing. And I mean that sincerely. So this is your opportunity. This is your gift in terms of the time of life and your state of mind. This is your opportunity. And so you guys have already demonstrated, and I always believe in evidence. Politics often evidence-free. But evidence is incredibly important. You have produced a result by definition of your being here today and your success. Those of you I talked to that have already accomplished a year, some of you just a few months, you've got evidence that you can do something perhaps you didn't think you can do 3 months ago or a year ago. You've already proven your capacity to produce results. So it's not just idle expectation. You've demonstrated that capacity. Now you've got to build on that. You've got to follow your bliss. You've got to find it. Don't like what you do. Love what you do. I mean that. Deal in adjectives that get your motivation and drive your sense of passion. Passion persuades. Passion drives a commitment. Interest is the enemy of passion. And interest is the enemy of success. How many of you are interested, for example, in getting in shape? And then it starts raining and you're like, I ain't going outside and jogging. That's an interested person. And how many of you found something you love? Could be athletics, could be a damn TV show you sacrificed, or a video game you did everything to get some money and go purchase or borrow from a friend, and you took that bus and you went to the other side of town to pick it up and you sacrificed everything. How many of you found those things you were committed to? And in the context of that commitment, you've excelled at it. Committed people find ways of getting things done. Interested people find excuses. But committed people are people that are passionate about whatever it is they're doing at the core and are willing to take risks and make mistakes. and learn from those mistakes. Do not be afraid to screw up. Do not be afraid to screw up. That's what it's all about. The guy who invented the light bulb was asked by the New York Times in an interview, 1879, give or take a year or two, was asked by the New York Times, Thomas Edison, I hope you've heard, was asked because he was a laughing stock. The New York Times, loving to cover controversy, decided to go and interview this guy that everyone was talking about because he had been flailing in his lab in an effort to create something he called light. And they were saying, man, we've heard that you failed over 1,000 times, Mr. Edison. 1,000 times. And that's what our readers want to know. I mean, how do you respond to that? When are you giving up? And he said, I haven't failed once. I have succeeded, he said, in finding 1,000 ways not to do something. And he went on from there to succeed many other times until he stumbled upon a way to actually accomplish his goal. Now, if he had just given up, we may not be here. We may need to be outside. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. How many of you know that? Cut from his high school basketball team. You ever heard of Ford automobiles? You know Henry Ford, who started Ford, went bankrupt once, twice, 3 times, 4th time. When are you going to give up, Henry? Went bankrupt 5 times. Then went on to accomplish something that everyone on the planet is familiar with, or at least most of those in the industrialized world are familiar with. Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham. Never heard of it? Folks in the culinary side of this better hear it. Green Eggs and Ham. Don't emulate that. Guy tried to get his first book published. Went to one publisher, said, it's a joke, get out of here, I'm embarrassed. Next publisher said, you humiliate me, this is the worst junk I've ever read in my life. Third guy, 5th, 10th, 15th, God is knowing this true story. 23 publishers rejected Dr. Seuss's first book until he found that one that agreed with him. 23 times. I can honestly, and I'll conclude in just 60 seconds, I can honestly give you dozens and dozens of additional examples. But I cannot find many successful people that don't have the background of the folks that I just referenced. Success is determined by increasing the number of tries. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That was Wayne Gretzky who said that. Who made more goals in hockey than anyone in history, also missed more. He knew what he was talking about. You've got to increase the number of tries. Fail, but learn from that failure and don't repeat it. And fail forward fast, and this is my last comment. You got to find that bliss, you got to find that passion, otherwise you're going to get frustrated and you're going to find excuses. You guys have done a remarkable job by the very nature of your participation in this program. Now, our responsibility is to work with you and encourage everyone that's on the periphery to not only reach out to all of you, to give you a chance to live your life out loud and succeed and excel, but to tell others that are out there in the private sector to encourage to do the same. This is what it's all about. It's about giving people chance and hope, and it's about giving people the opportunity to participate in the life that we're all trying to build. It's what community is at the end of the day. And so I want to just not only applaud all of you, but thank everybody here, PG&E, police and law enforcement, healthcare industry that's out here, making this program a success. And I'll end by acknowledging a reason that Mayor Willie Brown is here. Because this program wouldn't exist if it weren't for then Mayor Willie Brown, who had the vision. we thank Mayor Brown. We thank, in abstention, Nancy Pelosi for her leadership and her stewardship, the Department of Justice for their support of this program, and we count on that support for many years to come. To Benjamin Stewart for their stewardship of this program, but most importantly, again, I'll close as I began by thanking each and every one of you for being the stars, for being the example, for being that hope, for being the expectation that has brought us all here today. Thank you all very, very much.